This particular aspect of optimistic thinking is to do with simply whether you take things personally or not, when things have gone well or not so well. So to illustrate this particular point about optimistic thinking styles, which is to do with the way you take things personally or not, we're going to talk to Nick Barber, who's a very successful financial advisor. And Nick, reflecting back again upon the way the very recent past has gone, March, and we're now moving into April, and your reflections upon your business, what are your thoughts about how things have gone?
Well, as I've said, March wasn't an ideal month. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but there are reasons why clients might not take my advice on board. It's often bad timing for them, or there are other areas that sort of reflect their decision making that I don't really have any control over. It doesn't mean to say I've given them bad advice. Quite the contrary, I've given them superb advice, and I'm sure on many occasions just the timing was wrong.
Yeah.
So I need to just forget about that and move on to April.
I know that you're thinking much more positively now and looking forward to the coming months. What have you been doing? What have you been thinking and doing that's giving you this sense of optimism for the future now?
Well, I always reflect on weeks and months and as I'm going through, and it gave me a great opportunity to look at what hadn't gone well and what had gone well, and realise that I've got to really focus on areas that I have control over. So a couple of weeks ago I was able to really focus on what I wanted to achieve for April and what I could do to enable that to happen. So I know that I do a good job. I know that I'm good at what I do. So it's about making sure I get in front of the right people to be talking to, to help them out.
And you've been making plans on that basis.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then the plans have started to come to fruition. What does this generally say about the way that you think about life's ups and downs? As a financial advisor, you must, like all of us, find that things go your way sometimes and they don't go your way other times. With this idea of what that says about you, with that idea in mind, what have you learned about the way you think about life's ups and downs?
Well, I think it's difficult to say what it says about me, because I know that I'm good at what I do.
Right.
I like to think I'm a nice person. I'm a good person. So I think if something's gone badly, I can't have any reflection. It doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't make me a bad advisor. Whereas if something does go well, then it just gives you the realisation or the confirmation that you are good at what you do, and things have gone well.
I think what Nick is illustrating really well there is the way that he reflects upon events that haven't gone too well in terms of not taking it personally. He tends to think about the reasons outside himself that things may not have gone too well, such as it's a bad time for the client, the timing is bad for them, they may have other issues in their life that he's absolutely no control over. It doesn't say anything about him. And yet when things do go well, his tendency is to then use that as an opportunity to reflect upon why it's gone well in terms of his abilities. He was in control of it going well. He looks at his skills and he looks at his general abilities and realises that he was the agent of that positive outcome. So again, there's a very useful illustration of the two different ways of reflecting upon events that go well and don't go too well in terms of not taking them and taking them personally. It's called optimistic thinking, and it's something you could learn to do.